Dodge, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spear, Finger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snarly Gastro Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry Wolfman or Wolf County need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
This here's BIGFEETS, the only Mountain Monsters Watch-Along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway, and I just found a large red stone in my jacket pocket, and I have no idea what it goes to. I hope it's not important.
And I'm Sean Baby. For the right price, one could find a sanctuary from the police, and I once heard an interesting story concerning a number of fugitives who visited the club in search of a woman of influence who could arrange secret passage to South America. A seductive woman and former prostitute, pimped by my friend Marco. She reputedly helped dozens of European fugitives disappear from the face of the earth, never to be heard from again. Why? Because according to the story ritually told to newcomers over a beer before they met this woman who would engineer their escape from justice, she drugged her clients, ground them up in her basement, and cleverly sent them on their way disguised as cans of dog food.
No, it ruins the bit if you make up fake passages from the book. These have to be real passages from the book, The Secret Man by Frank Dukes. You can't just write them before the show.
Page 118, if you want to check. You could check right now. I know you have a copy.
I'm sorry, who is this talking?
Sorry, I apologize. I broke
She
the
didn't
format
say
of
you'd
the
get
show.
there, not dog food.
And I am New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin.
There
I
it is.
apologize. I got once again got derailed by the reading of the Frank Dukes excerpt. By the way, before we start the show, I have to say, Sean reading those excerpts does not mean that any of us agree with any political opinions expressed by Frank Dukes on other platforms. I went to his Twitter feed recently. He has 1,500 followers and was shocked to find how much anti-immigration memes he's sharing.
Yeah, we all knew that was coming.
We had no way.
What?
We have no way.
Pro-dog food, we've just
Based on-
learned.
Anyone who strangles 11 guys in his autobiography is going to be pretty pro-Trump. I feel like that's a safe bet.
I would assume he'd be mad about Trump because he was king of the liars before Trump.
That's true.
Like, all right, we're going down a bad path.
No, again,
I just
let's be clear.
Let's talk about Trump.
Our position, this is an apolitical podcast. Our position is that all political parties are exactly equally correct.
Yes. Good is the same as evil. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, what a disaster of an opening. I always flash back.
I like back in the day when Jason on the Cracked podcast would go, and once again, this has become a Trump podcast. It happened there's just no avoiding it.
Everything will go that direction if you let it, and I'm desperately trying not to let it, but you're not cooperating. Every time you read from that book, I'm reminded of how foolish you were when we first floated the idea of the Dukes cast, and you were like, I think it was Jason who was like, but what we talk about would be over so quickly. No, this would be 100 hours of content easily. I could do 100 hours of content on the passage you just read.
podcast miniseries just on that paragraph.
Just on that. Book. Like we could just talk about what world that implies. Somebody asked me. I just did an AMA thing on Reddit when somebody asked me like, "What's next for Big Feets if we run out of content?" And I was like, "Listen, they're working. We'll never catch up to them, but." Also, if we do run out of content, it's the Dukes cast. We're just going to pivot seamlessly from Bigfoot right into Frank Dukes. We're not even going to change the name because he kicks people. So
that's a really good point.
Straight across. Okay, before we get into it, how about some plugs? Where can people find more from you, Jason?
I am Jason K. Pargin on all of the short video platforms. Every time I say that, people are like, "Yeah, but what do you do on there?" I sing funny little parody songs. I have a ukulele. The last one went viral. A song called "The Alligator with a Human Penis." It has 200 million views. It's being used in advertisements.
And that's an Ave Maria parody?
A lot of protests, but that's just engagement.
Yeah.
Sean, how about you?
Sure. Go to patreon.com/1900hotdog to support Big Feets and 1900hotdog.
I, of course, am legally obligated to promote my new book, I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend, for $200. It is out right now and getting, frankly, incredible reviews. Like, look, if I knew up front that I had written a good book, I wouldn't have gone through let's just say the blackmail and the threats towards everyone I've ever loved, basically. Because this is just way easier. It's way easier when you can just say, buy my book. It's good. You should read it.
It is so good. I put it in a place of honor on my shelves. Again, I might change this, but it's between the book where Burt Ward made up all the sex stories, like where he had sex with a werewolf, and the other side is the humorless Charles Grodin autobiography. So I think you're in really good company.
Is there a passage in the Charles Grodin autobiography where he talks about getting dressed up like a werewolf and going trawling for men?
Oh, shit. You're right. Oh, my God. I thought he made that up, but that was a Charles Grodin prank.
Oh, classic Grodin.
Jesus.
Honored to be between those two men, not for the first time in my life.
Also, just to shoot down a narrative that has formed over the last couple of episodes. Again, yes, I read Robert's book. Yes, my blurb is on the back of it. Yes, I stand by the word. Look at that. Got it right here with the sprayed edges. The very first blurb in the back says, "You will love this book if you're the type of person who loves Robert Brockway's books."
What's amazing is how fast you came back with that, and like how quick, like within same day, within I want to say 40 minutes of me asking you for a blurb, and then you powered through that whole book and came up with that. It was incredible. Great work.
And the quote somehow on the cover, it's credited to Jason Pargin, songwriter of "Alligator with the Human Penis."
We just knew. We just called the shot. We knew it. Okay, that's where you can find us elsewhere for what we're doing right now. We're still a Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. It's I think, depending on how you count the seasons, this is season 7 some places, an impossible number of episodes this show should never have gotten. This one, just go by the episode title. This one is called The Great Skull Wall. Sorry, let me get that clean. The Great Skull Wall.
Great.
We're back. Sorry, I had to go for a quick wardrobe change and to make my beard 10% more haggard. I just needed that to continue the performance at the level you guys deserve. Or if you're just listening to the podcast at home, no, I didn't. We were at previously on Mountain Monsters. The Ames team had set out to prove that there might be wolves in West Virginia, and then last episode, they caught somebody's dog. And other stuff happened. I mean, I guess we'll probably
they got
talk
roared
about
at a lot.
In my mind, there are 2 key things that happened that the viewers must know if they missed the previous episode or the previous episode of Big Feets. One, at one point, Buck tore his ACL while just casually strolling through the woods, and then 13 seconds later, Huckleberry tore his ACL while casually walking. The same knee. I think both of them they blew out their right knee. It just casually walking very slowly through the woods. To this day, we don't know if that was supposed to be like a bit. They weren't going up against like a knee witch.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You don't
a
know
booby
yet.
trap.
They could have got the wrong
point.
notes. Or somebody made 2 copies of the notes, maybe? I don't
Well, see, I could do an entire episode trying to figure out how they yes-anded Buck saying, "Oh my gosh, I've blown out my knee. I've got to go back to the vehicle," and then Huckleberry yes-anding that too. That blew out my knee too.
Also, I think Predator might be here.
All the best improv is just I repeat what you said, and it applies to me as well. Like, oh, I've got a big birthday cake, and I also have a big birthday cake. Like, no, the skit is not going to work with 4 birthday cakes.
But the second link, for those of us who are very deep into the lore and the relationships in Mountain Monsters, a couple of episodes ago, Buck elevated Jeff to the position of researcher, which he had previously had a decade or so ago, and they forgot. But said, "No, hey, I'm being stalked by some sort of a spirit dog. Jeff, why don't you look it up and tell me what it is?" And then Jeff said, "I welcome it." So then Jeff, in the last episode, comes back and says, "Now I know what that black ghostly dog is. It is called a Grim. They are created by taking a beloved pet dog, burying it alive, and then it is resurrected as a ghost that patrols a cemetery. This is why we saw one prowling around a gravestone. So now we know, 1, there are wolves in West Virginia. They just established that. Actually, other people did. But 2, they now know what they're up against. The creature that Buck drove his vehicle through, the thing they keep encountering, it is a ghost dog called a Grim, according to Jeff, their researcher. So that is the knowledge we're building on.
Keep it in mind.
It would be crazy for them to just completely ignore that.
They would never do that.
No. I mean, why would they?
They have a writer now, Jason. Like,
Right.
I know back when this was a freewheeling improv show with 5 good old boys as an excuse, it's kind of a foreplay, let's be real. That kind of thing happened all the time, and it was forgivable, but they have a writer now. They have a budget. It doesn't happen like that anymore.
So anyway, that's it. Now we're ready to go.
Also, I will repeat, they actually caught somebody's pet dog. They went out looking for a ghost, samurai ghost dog, of course, and they caught a chocolate lab. And he was really happy to be there. It was a grand adventure for him.
A lot of near misses for the Ames team. Looking for wolves, but they got a regular ghost dog and a regular non-ghost dog.
Yeah, regular ass dog. You know this is going to be a good one, a good start, because before you even see anything, when you're just looking at establishing shots, you hear Wild Bill's voice. They let him in the truck. They shouldn't let him in the truck. It's always a mistake. But every once in a while they forget, and they let him in the truck. Weird that Willie is not allowed in the truck.
He's never been in the opening truck briefing,
I don't
as far
think
as
so.
I know.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is Wild Bill sometimes allowed in, and Willie is never allowed in? He was allowed in the rental car to sell the bit, because one of the last episodes Buck's truck was in the shop or something, and so they all had to cram into a tiny rental car. Don't worry, we're going to recap that whole bit in the episode.
Oh, good. Yeah.
In the opening shot, that's our introduction to this episode, is them recapping the rental car bit, because they knew they had gold, so you can't waste that on one episode.
It's not like part of the continuity. You don't need to know that. They just flash back and do the bit again for, I want to say, 2 minutes of airtime.
At one point, Huckleberry, when reminiscing on the rental car they drove in last weekend, says, "Man, I haven't been that wrapped up in that many body parts since the 1970s." So take a drink for Huckleberry,
Yep.
referencing his life as a pork machine.
The only Ames member who fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll slip it in every once in a while.
Yes, he
Pun
will.
intended.
Bury the bone.
I like how he's the only one that seems to have a life before that he'll like allude to. Nobody else really talks about like their time. Like now we're getting in. Now that Trapper has passed, we're getting into like he has a diary. He had a life before all of this, but like fuck all that we know about anybody else except for Huckleberry likes to get his dick wet.
And Wild Bill used to be Elvis.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
I wish we got to get the backstory episode on Jeff. We got to find out what happened to him. I bet he used to be cool Jeff all the time.
I mean, we know what happened to him after this because it's on Facebook.
Yeah, he got scammed. He got scammed by Nazis and kicked out of the team.
Yeah, and then he sold the planks for firewood.
Sold those precious planks.
I can't
so in
fucking
the opening,
believe he sold those planks.
did they?
Those would be my
did they
most
sell?
prized possession. I would look at those every day in the yard and say, God damn, those planks nearly cut 17 different big feets.
Well, you say that, but they were on sale for $300, and you did not buy them.
That's true. Yeah.
and none of us bought them. Jason presumably was within driving distance. He could have met Jeff for free too, and asked him, "What's your deal?"
To be fair, any of us can meet Jeff anytime we want.
Yeah,
You just show up there.
you would have had an excuse, as opposed to me, who would just be caught crawling down his chimney like Santa Claus.
I bought all of Willie's old PS3 games, though.
That's true. He had his divorce auction on eBay. God, you have to listen to every episode of this show to get the last 4 minutes of what we're talking about. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Back to this episode. Buck reiterates that all of this, remember, everything that they're doing, it's in memory of Trapper. It's Trapper's fault. And he also recaps the stakes that they have to do this to honor Trapper, and they have to find out what else might be in these woods. I would like to point out that we forgot to mention they met a bone drinker in one of the previous episodes. They did find a hog that was just intestines. That was it was a hog that was 8 hogs worth of intestines. Skeleton fully gone. So like now they have to find something to explain that. Is another like thing that they got to work on in this episode.
Right. Buck also recaps the wolf evidence they found, like the picture that one guy has and the video that one guy has, and then the track that they got from burying the bone, of course. None of them, they go through everything they've done, but none of them seem to remember every single time a scene ended with them getting chased off by a roar. Like that seems to be like just the background noise of their life. None of them is like, oh, right, there's also that thing stalking us through the wood that sounds like a lion.
The stakes are high. Is basically like we've got to do it to honor our fallen leader. This is what he wants from us. There's a bone drinker. There's some sort of werewolf out there. There's a regular dog. There's a ghost dog starring Forrest Whitaker. The stakes couldn't be higher. So anyway, Buck has to get back to work.
Okay, now I'm afraid the listeners think this is Buck saying, "Let's get back to work, guys."
No.
This episode opens with Buck recounting the dire danger they're in, including him personally being stalked by a ghost dog because they found 2 red glowing eyes behind him in one of their videos, and saying, "All right, guys, I'm going to drop you off to take care of that. I've got to go back to the mall, back to my day job. Bye."
Got to put in my solid 8 hours as a tango instructor.
Now, we do hear the criticism of the show from you guys, and I know that, I know that Gavin Newsom mentioned this, and he did a press conference about Big Feets, that when we make fun of Buck for having a day job, that it seems like we are saying this from an ivory tower position of us not having to have day jobs, but that is the reality in the entertainment industry. You can literally go see a film, see a person with a decent speaking role, and then on your way home from the theater, your Uber driver is the actor from the movie you just watched, because in reality, that is how the entertainment does not pay very well for anybody but at the very, very top. And so that when we make fun of Buck, it seems like we are punching down. my only defense is that no other show ever made in the history of television as a medium has had the plot structured around the fact that the show's lead, because Buck is he's the commander of the Ames team now. He inherited that from the guy who passed away, Trapper. That the entire plot revolves around the lead having to go to their day job instead of arranging the filming of the show for when they can be available. I've never seen this before. That's what I find amazing.
Much less every third episode. I mean, he's really putting in over. He's angling for a promotion, not here on the show Mountain Monsters, but at his day job. He's like, this is not important to me. We're hunting monsters to save the world. That's not what I'm into. I'm involved in the office politics. I'm looking to become senior vice president at Copy World. I got to put in those hours, man. So he sets the stakes. He sets them really high, and then he says, "That's for you. That's for you guys. Me, out of here. Me gone. You guys stay. You fight the wolves." And then he further adds the complication that Wild Bill will now be leading the field investigation in his place.
It's the same as leaving them for dead. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, I just found this feral raccoon. He's your boss now. You report to him. Whatever his whims are, you better guess him right. Because again, he's looking pretty rabid. I gotta get back to work. This isn't for me. That's for you. I'm turning my phone off. Don't call me. No emergencies. He just leaves them in the capable hands of Wild Bill, who leads them out into a field. That's where most of their stuff happens. That's fine. Wild Bill takes them out in the field in the middle of the day. I just want to emphasize this is the middle of the day. And he gives them his inspiration. He gives them his Bill Pullman Independence Day speech. I didn't write all of it down, but it's usually not a great sign when your inspirational speech has a long pause and then starts again with, anyway. So here's Wild Bill's plan. He says, I come up with an idea. Predator calls. And then the editor flashes Trapper's journal on screen to a page that says at the top, Predator calls.
An original idea. He announces that it's canine mating season. And so Wild Bill's first, and I guess only idea is, let's ask the wolves if they want to have sex. I can't put it any plainer than that.
Now, the most important development is one that they don't mention, but they show. Because when they are setting up in the middle of that cornfield, we are seeing this from above. Mm-hmm. Over and over again, we get these long, sweeping beauty shots from their professional TV broadcast drone with a 4K camera. This is full color, high definition. It's beautiful. But think about how that changes these hunts. Because, for example, if just hypothetically later on at some point in their careers, if they should ever hear a creature that's right over there, like I hear it over in those trees, their drone operator, boom, swoop over there, full view of this creature, all 360 degrees, high definition, get low, zoom in. They will never, ever have to worry about the fact that their own camera guys sometimes struggle to get the creature in frame. This thing can't run from their drone, and we know that the drone is on duty because we're watching this scene from the drone. It's in the air. So if they somehow are successful at hearing any kind of a creature, it will not escape their view from now on for the rest of the time they have this show.
Yeah. We're going to get that Bigfoot footage. It'll change the world.
We personally are gonna look so foolish for making fun of all of those CGI renderings when the drone gets it in 360 and it looks exactly the same.
Like the same pose, like, everything.
Oh my god, it looks. He was right all along.
The drone.
The one with the teeth sticking out of its face. It turns out that's all accurate.
That only cowboy mustache knew what these These creatures
He was
look
trying
like.
to tell us. So
That was the guy's name, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah,
that
Cowboy
the
Mustache.
artist?
Sounds right.
either a guy or
He
a
would answer to it either way. Like, you'd like, I know who you mean. Yeah, it's not exactly that. But.
I hope it's a whole production company named Cowboy Mustache. I hope that there are, 8 people in a little office somewhere that all work for Cowboy Mustache. So his idea is to call. So it's a little weird that the guy whose job is expert caller, because Buck still opens every episode being called the expert caller. He's the only one not here for the calling part. He dropped them off to go do that. Wild Bill says he has a piece of high technology to unveil, and he hauls out an old cooler. And I'm cutting roughly 15 minutes of each member of the team saying technology, 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 in increasingly
really frustrating.
skeptical voices. Yeah, they really hit that for a long time. And he pulls out an old cassette tape recorder, and it didn't seem like wildly out of character for them. Like, I don't know, I didn't really blink at that, but they all laugh like this is caveman technology. And even Willie laughs, and Willie's job is to build boxes out of sticks.
They scream laughter at the sight of this cassette player. It's not like a reel-to-reel. It's like it's just
tape player.
it's an old cassette player.
And they make a big deal about how they're a high-tech show now. I guess the drone really went to their heads. They're just we're so far above this now. But like at any given point, they will say, "Well, we got it from a trail cam somewhere," and you'll see like a 4-pixel grainy night. Like, you're not using technology newer than this.
Is beyond the suspension of disbelief. Like, we can all believe there are monsters in the woods. But for a man to think a 50-year-old tape recorder is new technology is just like, oh, no, I can correct that. And that's not a new technology, you fucking idiot. And then, like, he's done with that bit. But no, he keeps arguing that, no, it's new technology. But that it just makes no sense in a way that isn't magical, like there's a Pigzilla out there. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. If this is like the kind of thing they're going to do, if this is the kind of bit they're going to do, they might as well hunt Santa Claus, is my point, is that this is for babies.
Listeners, if it seems like we're dwelling on this seemingly minor point, I want to make it clear that by the time they finish doing their comedy bit about how old this tape player is, we are 11 minutes into this 42-minute episode. We are 25% of the way through the runtime, and the only thing that has happened is Buck dropped them off, went to work at the hospital to do a surgery, a brain surgery, and then they were drove out to a field, and then Wild Bill got a tape recorder out of a box, and they made fun of it. And we are a quarter of the way through the timeline of this hour-long TV show that people paid money to watch because it was on a streaming service that cost money.
Got to pay for that drone, man.
Also,
Got to get that drone money.
This is going to piss you off, listeners, but after they do that bit, they do a second comedy bit where they pulls out 3 tapes. And the first one is... a pup in distress, a coyote pup in distress. The second one is a rabbit in distress. And the third one is, Garth Brooks' greatest hits. A good derp. And I was really frustrated by that also. Because that could have been something funny. Like, if they put the tape in and it was something he didn't expect, like, I don't know, a sex tape, or him like on the, oh god, they tricked me, these are fart pills again, and then just 4 minutes of farts, I'd be like, okay. But Garth Brooks' greatest hits is just like the most placeholder zaniness. Garbage. Also, low effort.
Also, again, let's follow the trail of thought. Hey, I decided to do a predator call because this is a canine and this is canine mating season, which, by the way, in response to that, Jeff, their researcher, says, I didn't know that. And then their 3 options for distress calls are rabbit being killed, pup in distress, Garth Brooks' greatest hits. None of them are mating calls.
No.
They never noticed this, even though it was 1 minute ago that they pointed out that the reason this will work is because it's mating season. So I guess the premise is, well, you know, some of these creatures are perverts and they can only get off to the sound of a rabbit being killed. You know, they watch these crushing videos on the dark web and jerk off to them. So
Or
That's
Garth
another
Brooks.
bit they could have
Maybe
done
they
if
can
it
only
was like
come to
a
Garth
tape.
Brooks.
Yeah, if it was a tape you fucked to, like a Billy Ocean tape or something.
Yeah. Somebody's got to have that for Garth Brooks. Probably Garth Brooks, I imagine.
I bet Coyotes fucked to Garth Brooks, but I don't.
Yeah, that seems in character. You know what? Jason talked me into it. I'm going to give him that. I approve of that bit now. So he plays the tape over a huge loudspeaker. It's the worst audio I've ever heard of any show. Like this tinny, horrible loudspeaker. It's specifically animals being murdered as loud as possible. And they do get a response. They get a huge, loud roar from what seems to be just over the next hill, like 100 feet away from them.
Drone didn't quite get it.
Yeah, the drone didn't quite get it, but they leap into action here and immediately turn the tape off. They saw it was working. They jumped on it. Nope, not today.
And then they just kind of stand around, very proud of themselves for summoning a monster to this open field where they have no weapons. Normally, they would be losing it.
no weapons, no any plan of action for what to do if the thing we're trying to attract shows up. They don't have a trap. They don't have a net. They don't have... So I guess it was just curiosity. Like, I wonder if this will do something. All right, it did. Okay, well,
Shut that the fuck off. We gotta,
I actually didn't think that was going to work.
yeah, nobody had... It's the redemption arc. Nobody had faith in Wild Bill's plan, and then it worked, and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I think the drone might have actually ruined this bit because we can plainly see nothing's coming. So, I mean, that the roar, we obviously know they piped it in, but we can also see that nothing got called.
Yes.
Because
That's
of the
why I
drone
made
shot.
a big deal of pointing out it's also the middle of the day. So
Right.
you get the drone shot, they're in an open field. They are not in the forest. They're in a wide open field, middle of the day, clear sight lines all around, and then they pretend that something roared 100 feet that way, which is very much still the field.
The patch of ground that the drone just filmed. It's not like, well, maybe it was hidden. I was like, no, this is what we were just looking at. If we rewind the episode by a few seconds, we should see the monster standing over there.
So they say, well, we need to get out of here. We need to go get our weapons and our lights. We got a hot lead right now. And so they all jump in their Forest golf cart and drive away, which is what you want to do whenever you have a hot lead. It's best to drive
Just
the
to
opposite
leave, yeah.
direction.
They listened to a rabbit get killed. That's the only thing they've done today.
Yeah. They come back, and when they come back, it is pitch black outside. It is pitch black outside. Later on, they will say it's only been 25 minutes. But it has very plainly been about 6 hours. Like, from the middle of the day to now. They have completely burned. Like, they all went home. They took a nap.
Well, because what they're going to do is they now cut to Buck driving in the dead of night, where it had been noon clearly, and it's Buck saying, "Well, apparently Bill's got this new state-of-the-art technology." Bill, technology, and it's like,
Technology?
oh no,
Yeah.
Buck is going to show up, and they're going to do it all over again, and
all
they
over
do.
again.
And he's right.
Yep. Yep.
They do the bit, and that's it. They don't add to the bit. The bit does not evolve. They just do it again.
They do
They just
the
run it
Garth
back.
Brooks tape bit again. Buck does an interview to camera saying, well, I'm pretty sure the last time this device was used was to record dinosaur calls. It's like,
What?
He breaks at that line. He's like, I don't know, where did I come up with that? Garbage.
I also like the implication here that Buck's shift takes 25 minutes. That's
oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's a birthday
he had to
Kirby.
go get to work. He dropped them off in this field. They played a tape, and then 25 minutes later, Buck's here, and he's like, "I just got back off my shift at work." Like, you went to do a 20-minute shift.
That's how long it took him to get fired from yet another job. The moment he walked in the door, like, that's what you wore? Get out of here. You're gone. Last warning, we told you.
8 inches uncut? No, sir. Out of here. Out. So they head out into the pitch black night, which, whatever, we'll assume it's been 25 minutes. That's still enough time for an animal to just leave. Animals often leave. I don't know why they're so sure that they're going to find something out there. But they say, cut the lights again. Switch to infrared, because this 25 minutes after sunset here is the darkest night that's ever been.
They don't turn off their headlamps.
Yeah, they leave their headlamps on. They turn off the production lights. So, yeah.
And Jeff does have something on thermal. And then we cut to a Huckleberry testimonial, which for sure contains our quote of the episode, right? I don't want to say it.
Probably. It's up there.
Right? Everybody's got it on their list.
I've got it written down, yeah.
Okay. Let's save it then.
I also have it written down here. Jeff's got something on thermal. It's pee. It's definitely pee. It took 5 seconds for Jeff to find pee. So in the reboot, he's still a pee-pee guy. I'm just reading what it says in my notes.
That's what I want to hit on. Remember, this is a reboot of the whole premise. They abandoned everything. They said, we have never fucking hunted a monster before. I don't know what this group is. Volleyball? We're a volleyball team, a traveling hillbilly volleyball team. But this is like we came out here looking for wolves and we don't even understand what's happening because monsters aren't real. That's what we're doing this season. Full reboot of the premise. And Jeff reinvents that he found piss on the thermal cam. You didn't have to do it to yourself, my man. Yeah. You don't have to be the pee-pee boy. It's a new school. Just tell them you didn't piss yourself every day at your last school.
But what matters is this is the dead of winter, so if you have got warm urine on a tree that has been urinated on, that has to be seconds old, so the creature is clearly within attacking distance. So the next step is to make a whole bunch of jokes about, wow, if it's peeing up that high, this creature must have a huge dong.
I didn't quite understand their understanding of dong physics. Because,
no sense whatsoever. If you had a big dick, then the urine would be a few inches off the ground. That would be the joke. Their whole thing's like, well, this is 4 feet up off the tree. If you see pee that high, you must have a huge wiener. It's like, what are you? You imagine the guy's got a boner?
Yeah, he's rock hard, of course. When you picture huge wieners, they're not rock hard?
Well, no, Bill's dong is clearly flopping in this imagination, in this recreation, because he's like throwing it up there, like flopping the dong up, and apparently it's sort of, you got like enough hang time on it that the pee stays from the really longness of the wiener. That's my understanding of it. Is you flop it, and then during that hang time, that's when you pee, and then you cut it, and then do it again, and then you keep doing it. It takes a while.
Well, we've dedicated about a third of the time that they dedicate to talking about the piss and making dick jokes. So let's move on.
We can stay here for longer.
We're like 19 minutes into the episode now. We're about to reach the halfway point. I don't like to emphasize on the podcast that nothing happened in an episode, because generally the structure of this era of Mountain Monsters is every episode has what I call a Jeff Witch cackle moment, where you're watching the first 2/3 of the episode and you're saying, this is so bad, there's nothing even to make fun of here. Mm-hmm. But then they hit you with 2 guys blowing out their knees within 15 seconds. You're like, all right, they're back. They know what they're doing. We're just waiting for the thing to happen.
Yeah,
like
the prestige
in the episode
moment.
Where Jeff did his witch cackle. I'm sure we have it on the soundboard still. We don't need to bring it back. But so, yeah, this is one of the slowest starts to an episode ever, which is a shocking statement.
Yeah,
and it's
rough,
and it's in the middle of a serialized season, so like they have a storyline to get through, and you have to see that, like, whoops, we didn't have anything here. It's couldn't be more plain.
where we left off, I cannot emphasize this enough. Where we left off in the last episode was the revelation that this is a ghost dog. It is a Grimm. It protects the graveyard. So now, the thing that has happened is they found urine, but urine of the ghost?
Yeah.
Why is that supposed to be something? I get that the growl they heard earlier could have been the ghost wolf growling at them, but what's the urine? Why is the urine a raising of the stakes if we now know we're
because
after
of the
something
longness of the
supernatural?
wiener? It's like you haven't been listening.
It's ghost piss. That piss has unfinished business here on Earth, and it's to get in Jeff's tummy.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
He reinvented himself as the piss boy. I can't help him, okay? I can't help you.
You are who you are.
Yeah,
every kid that has tried to move to a new school and reinvent himself has found out, no, you are who you are. You're gonna eventually show yourself to be.
No, I reinvented myself at a new school, and I was cool as shit the rest of my life. Hell yeah. It works. It works, kids. Just do it. So I do briefly want to revisit the extremely high urine bit, and it's that they establish the heights themselves. So they see this urine stain, which again, it's like 5 feet up the tree where it starts, and then Buck says, "Okay," and he holds his hand about, I don't know, a foot off the ground. He says, "Here's where a dog would be." Moves his hand up about 5-6 inches. Says, "Here's where a wolf would be." Moves his hand up 4.5 feet and says, "Here's where this is." So you've gone way beyond here's a big beast we should be scared of, and into this is fucking Marmaduke. This is a 25-foot tall dog that's pissing 5 feet off the ground onto this tree.
Yeah, even though they spent a long time in the previous episode establishing the exact size of this animal, because Buck encountered it. He drove through it with his car. He knows exactly the height of the hood of that rental car. He knows exactly where the creature's head was. They had Wild Bill stand out there so they could measure it. So we, again, are finding out, because if you raise the stakes and say, wow, this is even bigger than we thought, it's like, well, no, it's not. Unless you're saying there's multiple. Is this the same one you drove through or not?
Do ghosts pee? I feel like science would want to know that.
And what they established was that it was just kind of big for a dog. So from one episode to the next, they've gone from this is a pretty big dog, this is like Mastiff sized or something, to full Marmaduke. This is a 25-foot tall. Because they even it's not even a single mistake where somebody got pissed too high on the piss tree.
Do you mean Clifford? Because Marmaduke is a regular dog-shaped dog, right?
Isn't Marmaduke cute?
I mean, he's big. Clifford is the one who's like a house-sized dog.
I might be getting my giant dogs mixed up. We're doing a Clifford then.
Okay, but either way, for example, the Kentucky Hellhound was a 500-pound creature, according to my notes from that episode. So this still isn't that range, is it? A 500-pound dog, like the Hellhound to be 500 pounds, that'd be like
how high up a tree does Shaq pee? I mean, that's like our standard unit of measurement.
I don't look. I feel like I say this on way too many of our podcasts, but picture the angle and the physics of a dog's dick.
Done.
They still pee downward, even when they lift their leg way high. It's strung on their belly and points down. It still goes kind of sideways and downward. So if we're talking 5 feet high off the ground, this is a 20-foot.
It's tall. A horse.
See, I'm frustrated. It's like you guys don't listen to me. I gave a dissertation on the dog physics. The dog is flopping, and then during the hang...
I feel like we're stalling the podcast because the show is almost over itself, and we're trying to...
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I tried to move us on from this, and then I dragged us right back. It's 100% my fault.
I think my notes are all just the sexually charged things they said to each other.
Yeah,
the rest of this episode is just...
I don't say this enough on the podcast. Let's move on from the dog dick talk. So they start tracking this off into the woods, and they follow the trail. They hear some more growls. They find they've stumbled across an upturned log, and then they say, "My God, this is exactly where we found the Labrador from the last episode."
So now, we know this is 25 feet from the road.
Yes, so we know that, but also what implication here is not extremely funny. So either this regular ass happy pet dog is friends with the super dog, the super ghost dog. They're just out here playing. Or is it like an Incredible Hulk dog where if you get this dog mad, he turns into Clifford?
Oh,
and
I
a
like
ghost.
that.
A ghost Clifford?
Ghost Clifford.
But take a drink because for in the Mountain Monsters drinking game, for when they portray a vast haunted forest as being about 10 feet wide and 20
Right.
feet long, because there's always like two spots. It's the red shed and the rock. Here, they've got the tree where we found the dog, and then they're about to find a log nearby, and that log
right.
is now the center of the world. But it is as if it is the log in the woods, the one log.
I do think the log is pretty cool. I think they were right to do something in the log.
I
Maybe not as
completely
much
agree.
as they did.
Let's get into the log because they are about to.
Let's
true,
get into
too.
that log like Willie, because he's the only one that can fit in a log.
Right. They are happy to find a hollow log. And everyone knows hollow log rules. But they just established they're hunting a gigantic Clifford ghost. This is not its home. We just
They want to make it.
This
out like
isn't
it
where
is.
the giant dog lives.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're just wrong because they hear a noise inside there and they're like, I think he's in there.
Yep. They decide
Yeah,
that the
I
dog
guess
they
you're right.
just decided was 20 feet tall has like, mate, hold on. Maybe it's boneless like an octopus. That's why it needs to drink the bones.
There you go. See?
That does make sense.
It's all going to come together because they've got a writer planning all of this
Right.
out.
I'm
So-
such an asshole. I
but
but
they-
ignore half of what I just said. Like up until this point, I get it.
They actually, so they look at this log and they decide it's 40 to 50 feet long. So for the rest of the time they're doing log adventures, they're going to radio to each other at opposite ends of the log.
Okay.
Like, Buck, are you at the other end of the log? I'm down here. And it's just one tree size log.
It is okay. It is cool in that it's completely hollow and it's massive and it's covered in moss and stuff. I'll give them this is what Jason has been asking for. Like, find a cool place in the woods and do a bit around it. They decide to do way too much of a bit on it, and they decide Willie's got to go in the log to hunt down this wolf that is also in the log. And then Willie crawls in and he gets a little bit in there and he says, "There's a big chunk of dead log in the way here. I got to move it out of the way." And then he says, "Oh no." So the wolf closed the door behind it?
It's got
There's a door in the
whole-
log that he had to move? And then
Yeah.
he starts screaming, "Get me out of here, get me out of here." And Wild Bill and Buck jump into action. They go in, they grab him by the legs, and they start pulling him. And he start doing the like, no, it's pulling me back. It's pulling me back, guys. Oh my God. And he's screaming and he's mauling. So like he's being mauled by the wolf. Like it's just his face. He's gone face first. Or I guess he wouldn't be much better if he had gone ass first. He's getting mauled either way. And then they cut over to Jeff. And Jeff says, "Get him out now!" From his spot hiding in a tree. Hiding up in a tree. Like 20 feet away. Watching
Now-
all of this happen.
I feel like the listeners are very, very frustrated because we've said, okay, they encountered this log. They said, hey, that log would be a perfect place for a creature to hide. And it would be a perfect place for a family of raccoons to hide. Not for a giant 500-pound wolf monster. But we described Willie crawling in face first, obviously without a gun. How would that even work? So I think the listeners are saying, well, now, hold on. What was his plan? What was he, if this was a successful log crawl, what would the success look like in universe? Like we're not criticizing the realism, the physics, anything. We're saying in universe, we need to explain to our listeners, what was he hoping would happen when he crawled into the log?
He would have got footage of the... he forgot the camera,
Now he didn't
too.
take a camera. Whoops. Huh. I think he just wanted off this show, and if getting torn apart by a wolf is the way to do it, I mean, that's the curse, right?
Yeah.
because they give lip service to, man, this is so dangerous. Well, you've got some huge nuts going in there, man. This thing could eat your face off. It's like, yeah, okay, we get that, but what's the good thing that could happen? Because when they pull him out and he's like, oh, it got away. It was in there, but it ran away. It busted. They decided it busted out a hole in the side of the log, and that's how it escaped. Sure. It's like, okay, but if like that happened, if that hadn't happened, what was the thing? Were you going to grab its face and like drag it out by the ears? Were you going to try to grab its front paws? Like, what?
He's making out like he doesn't even have full use of his arms because he's kind of like, he has to, this log is not big enough for this, really. He's got to like really scrunch down. So he's kind of on his arms. I think the only solution was Willie was going to get in a bite off with the ghost wolf. They were just going to like dogs playing, just snap at each other, open mouths. Ah.
Okay.
That's kissing. No, you're talking about kissing.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was looking for. I forgot the word. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's a very funny joke. Also, literally the only possible thing he could have done.
That's it.
He had no knife. He had nothing. Like
biting or kissing.
I guess that's the theme of this episode, is to be wholly unprepared for success. Like the dangers. If this was art, if this was a metaphor, the metaphor here would be like sometimes it's worse to not be prepared for success. You have to be ready for when success happens, because this is 2 for 2. 2 things you've tried.
In the mind of a dog. The dog's chasing a truck. They're getting in the mindset.
They don't know what to do with it. So it takes off, and they grab their guns and go after it. They find its trail, and then after they find its trail, they do a bunch of hemming and hawing, and finally Buck suggests, like it's a radical option, I think maybe we should go after it.
This is kind of new. Normally they would have gone home by now, right? They got attacked by a log dog.
I fully expected them to go back to the hotel the moment it left the log, but they keep going. I was actually kind of shocked. It's like, oh, wait a second. They have to film everything right now because this is the only day off Buck has. So they had to just keep filming.
He's got another 20-minute shift in 2 hours. His life is hell. He's got to be on that Seinfeld sleep schedule.
Huckleberry can't go on, though, because his knee hurts.
His old injury. Willie points out that the trail, they want to follow it, that the trail goes over a barbed wire fence, and that means it's somebody's property, and they do not have permission to be over there. And the one thing they never do, will never ever do, is get on somebody's property without permission.
Hey, remember that one Bigfoot that was mad at the poachers because they were crossing property lines?
Yes.
And hunting out of season? They follow the same ethic of that Sasquatch that was like stayed up to date on the seasonal hunting requirements and the
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. None of that ever happened.
Oh, that's right. Jesus, that's going to keep tripping me up. This is alternate universe. This is universe C16 where this is happening, where they'd never encountered any of that.
To their credit, they're saying right now, they're establishing in this reboot, okay, this is part of the reboot. This is like our prime directive. The one sacred rule is we will never set foot on somebody's property, not without permission. So like, just keep that in mind as we move forward. That's very important, apparently. They really stress it. They really hit it hard.
But
so
they are now going to go on a hunt for the sign that tells them whose land it is. And they literally treat this as a hunt. They're on a hunt for a sign.
They're looking for sign.
They have the phone number of the guy who owns the property on it, and they like do a pincer movement for the sign. They like split up.
Gotta come at it from both sides.
Do you see it? Like, we gotta get up high, get a vantage point. We can see if we can find that sign.
Gotta get it from both sides in case you gotta drive it into Willie's sign trap.
I like Huckleberry's been left alone with his knee, so he doesn't do Predator anymore, but he does a thing now where he decides that this is the most evil place they've ever been.
Yeah, because they leave him with Jeff, right? And he's talking to Jeff.
They leave him with Jeff so he won't have the Predator appear.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
like
supervisor.
He kind of tries to get Jeff into it. He turns to Jeff and he's like, of all the places you've been, you can feel the evil coming off of this one. I mean, it's just pure evil out there watching you. Like, give him 5 more minutes. He'll be like, I think they call that thing a predator.
Shimmering movements.
Because, to be clear, nothing evil has happened yet. We're in episode 4. Who's been injured? Who's been
We
killed?
found a playful pet dog out here. If these woods are evil, that dog is fucking kicking ass.
They
Willie's
don't
scared
even
of
have
raccoon.
lore of somebody of evil occurring. They weren't sent out here in response to, hey, we've got evil out here. Can you guys come and vanquish it? They were sent out to find regular wolves. Ran into a bunch of farmers the moment they arrived, saying, "Oh yeah, we've documented the wolves fully. You wasted gas driving out here. It's a
If
known
anything,
phenomenon."
this is safe because they got a Grim. They got that ghost dog, that cop dog that
Protecting.
patrols
It's a protector.
the night.
They've established.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cop. It's a cop dog. Jeff points out, like playing in with Huckleberry, you're right. I haven't seen a single other animal in these woods. Apart from the pet dog,
Yeah,
who was
except for
having
the pet dog and the raccoon,
a
which
great
is fun.
time. So Buck they do finally corner the sign with the information for whose property that is, and so now they have to go get permission to continue chasing, I don't know, a werewolf or something. I just think it's very funny that they have to get permission to chase the werewolf.
At the sight of the sign, Buck screams in panic, "Guys, I've got something! I've got something over here!" And it's a little yellow sign posted to a tree saying, "The private property, call this number if you," or whatever the name of the property owner.
He must
Huckleberry
be.
puts 40. He comes hobbling over with his bat. And he puts 40 rounds in it.
He must be terrible to take on a hike, just because you see those all the time next to hiking trails. He's not going on a hike. He busted his knee when he went on a hike the last time. So they hear something. They hear something in the woods, and it's a rattling chain. Remember, that was one of the things that happened. They had a Jacob Marley. There's a Jacob Marley out there rattling a chain to teach you a lesson about kindness or whatever. So they call the others to regroup, and they go after the noise. And they get something on thermal. Turns out to be nothing. We cut back to Huckleberry, who has been left along with Willie this time, because he can't. His knee's still bucking him, and somebody's got to stay with him. And we cut back to Huckleberry and Willie now that we're on this high-stakes chase, and Huckleberry leans over and goes, we've been hunting monsters a long time. He's pitching him on Predator again.
Yep.
He's trying. If you leave him alone with anybody, he's like, there's something out in there in those woods that I ain't never seen.
Nothing like it. That chain rattling, craziest thing I ever heard. These woods, the most evil place I've ever been.
Listen, you want to play Predator, I'll let you be Jesse. I'll let you be Jesse Ventura. I know it should be me, but I know it's what you want. I'm going to be Billy this time. I'm going to do the knife thing.
Nice.
So he's like one of those old guys at the park that's just got like 6 games of chess going on that he has to hop back and forth.
but they're all games of Predator.
They're all
It's
games
just him
of
pointing
Predator.
at 6 different trees and saying that's what Predator is.
He's got one go with Jeff, one go with Willie. Sometimes he gets him confused.
He's got a timer. Click that tree. Click that tree.
So Buck and the others return, and Huck asks if they found anything, and Wild Bill goes, "Sorta." Which is just such a good summary of the whole show.
Such a positive energy.
Sorta, not really though. They determine they're helpless to chase the werewolf or whatever across somebody's property. They have to get the fuck out of here. They're amazing. They call off this high stakes monster hunt out of respect for property lines. You got to respect it. It's a hard and fast rule.
I found this to be a bad hunt. Huckleberry did his best to sell us on it with how it's the
episode's
weirdest
not
sound.
over. There's a few minutes left they're going to do a comedy bit here because they've decided they have to summon the golf cart to come pick up Huckleberry because he can't walk on his torn patellar tendon. And Buck says, "There's something I need to point out to you all." And then the comedy music starts fading in. The audio engineer starts like giving you the comedy cue. When Willie was in that log, there was something I picked up on. I really didn't want to tell anybody. Willie, you're starting to go bald on top of your head. Bang. And then Jeff says, "I got it on thermal. You look like the Pope."
Notoriously.
Famously bald spot Pope. Does he mean Friar Tuck, maybe?
I don't know.
That's what he means. No,
But
it has to be it.
God forbid they cut that from the episode. And
Or a yarmulke? Maybe it looks like a Pope yarmulke. Sometimes he wears the yarmulke. When he doesn't wear the good hat.
Have something to do, because he prefaces, first part, I got it on thermal, semicolon, you look like the Pope.
on thermal.
On thermal.
And Willie just has to take it. Because like Buck, there's no imperfections you can make fun of on Buck.
I don't know.
Can't
He's
turn the
lost a
tables
lot
on
of
him
weight.
at all.
He's getting that, like, I used to be fat and now I'm going to be mean and skinny kind of thing.
Yep.
He's still like 280 or so, but like, he's second. Third hottest in this group.
But it doesn't matter. We're sitting here talking about nothing happened in the episode. We're about to win because they're going to go cut inside the golf cart. It's like, oh, they're still filming. That means something else is going to happen.
Yep.
Probably the only thing to happen in the episode is going to happen right now. So here we go. Buckle up. Text on screen comes up and says 2:08 a.m. The team is heading back to base camp. By the way, if you sit down and draw out the timeline, that this is 2 a.m. now is wild, considering how this started at like noon. Anyway, and then they get lost. Text on screen and hear Willie, I think I took a wrong turn back there in the woods. And it comes up 2:31 a.m. They've been driving aimlessly in this woods for 20 minutes. And then the final thing happens.
And then he slams on the brakes.
Right.
He slams on the brakes out of nowhere. They all start screaming. And they have just found, they all jump out of the golf carts to see what it was. And they have just found a dark altar to the cow pterodactyl. That's the only thing it can be. It actually completely whips ass. I love this as a set piece, a piece of like little set design. It's probably the best thing they've done.
If they built this, that's really cool. Like this was a pain in the ass to build. This is multiple days of building because it's like a cow. It's like a bull skull, like you'd get from a gift shop with the horns. And then they built this huge, like vast, like these wooden wings coming out from it. Somebody had to sit down and draw it and plan it. Now, it may be an existing sculpture that they filmed around. I wouldn't.
I think it's just a Guns N' Roses album. Somebody out here is just a big fan.
It whips ass. It's got bat wings. It's all made out of sticks. It's on. They do something a little strange here where they call it a wall.
Yes.
I don't know why they do that because the cameraman clearly shows us in wide angle multiple times that it's kind of a small pyramid. It's a bundle of sticks about like 10 feet high, and it's in a pyramid shape, but nothing to either side of it. It's not blocking anything, but they will refer to it as a wall.
We know why this happens now because it's now happening in every episode this season so far. Their script writer is describing sets and having them do lines based on the set that they don't actually have. So previously they had a line where Buck was supposed to be in a haunted old barn, but the only barn next to the highway was a brand new well-lit barn, but they still had him do the lines and the scene as if it was ancient and haunted. Right. They earlier had a thing where they were supposed to come upon a spot in the woods that had just been destroyed by some horrific, gigantic creature, and then all they could do is like scoot some leaves aside, like they didn't have the ability to tear down a bunch of trees. So here, I'm going to spoil the next episode a little bit. On paper, they were supposed to come across a barrier to keep them out of this no man's land. And it was supposed to be a wall full of skulls saying, get out. That keeps them, so they're going to talk about it as if it is an impassable barrier. Like when you come here and you stop. Well, it's one thing to write that down on a piece of paper. It's another thing to come up with that. So instead they have this big sculpture, but it's in no way a wall. The name of this episode is The Skull Wall, right?
The Great Skull Wall.
They are going into the next episode. They're going to keep talking about this as if it is an impassable wall because that's what it was on the page. So this is a new type of incompetence they've added to the show where they are acting out what the writer wished they had on hand instead of what they actually had access to.
There's another thing that scared me here where when they found this wall, they did a pickup shot of Jeff. They inserted this not as a testimonial later, but as during the scene where he goes, "What did we find?" And I was like, "Oh no! If they try to do this, if they try to do a 2-camera sitcom, that's gonna be a disaster." Is all I'm saying is that if they're like, "Hey, can we get everyone's reaction to this thing we're looking at right this very second," and they have to perform it, it's gonna be real bad for us.
I think it's only for the big set piece moments like this, which is unfortunate because, as Jason pointed out, they're always incorrect. So you're always going to get, my God, a giant wall, and then the cameraman will pan over just pure empty forest as far as the eye can see, and then eventually it'll drift over a small pyramid of sticks. Is that the wall? I should also say it does have one more aspect. The cow skull at the top of it has one red stone hidden in its eye socket. The other is empty, like a Resident Evil puzzle, which I fucking love. Thank you for doing that.
I do love that.
I love that.
I love that they left it because they know it's a Resident Evil puzzle, and they did not steal the sacred jewel. And they probably only did that because they're cowards, not because they, nerds.
To be clear, this is not the type of puzzle where you put a second jewel in and then it opens up. Here, you just take that jewel out. You can add that to a crown that's got a blue and a green in it. You sell that to the arms dealer. That's like 1,200, whatever what's the currency in Resident Evil 4? Pesos, whatever.
Pesetas, maybe.
Yeah, it's 1,200 of those.
Zenny.
I wish that Australian guy, the gun shop owner, was like, they could just pan just off screen and he's right there. Like, hey, hi. Whoa. You're always here. Yeah, he's always there. Use him like storage. I love that they have a little Resident Evil puzzle, which I guess it would make sense if this was a wall they had to open up. I don't know, because they call attention. They say, look, there's one red stone in its eye, the other's missing. I wonder where it is. So they're like, oh, you're going to have to solve a puzzle. So let's all just keep our eyes out for the importance of that red stone in the rest of the series and how they're possibly going to gain entry past the Great Skull Wall.
If this was in front of an elevator, it would be kind of hard to get into that elevator. I mean, let's be fair. There's certain circumstances where it's almost a wall.
Do you think this was the worst episode? Because they had the skull wall. Like, I get, if they made this, then the entire production of this episode was making that, and then they just improvised walking around the woods for a while till they because, by the way, they did not follow a chain of clues to get to the skull wall. They did not follow a trapper journal map. The plot was they came out here looking for the wolf thing. They walked around. They eventually figured out they were on private property and couldn't go there. And then they left to go back to the hotel. On the way back to the hotel, they got lost, and that's how they found the skull wall. That's how the heroes found the thing. The one thing in the episode was they got lost trying to take Huckleberry back to the hotel.
because he tore his ACL again.
Because he couldn't walk on it. And that was the only thing that happened in this episode. And they needed like 5 or 6 comedy bits that they stretched well past the point any competent editor would have left them in. And in fact, they do like a preview of next week. And I think 100% is because the episode was too short.
Yeah.
Like they used everything. That's recapping everything coming back from the commercial break. That's repeating comedy bits. They could not stretch enough. They still, because the scenes from next week, whole lot of nothing. It was just too short of an episode. They didn't film enough stuff. It was like when you guys did the Dog Zone episode about that, the $6 million man, wasn't that where the creator was like, yeah, we had to do a bunch of slow motion because by the time we got in the editing bay, we realized we didn't have enough show. We just put in some stock footage and just slowed it down.
Slowed it way down. We only had 20 minutes of footage, 44-minute show.
Yeah, we were all getting paid $5 million per episode to do it.
If only there was some way to time out a scene, but who can do that? I mean, who can master time? Truly, no man. No man can master that horrid bitch time. Willie does say it kind of reminds him of a dragon. And remember, Huckleberry did find a burned spot out in the woods. And he was like, he specifically said, looks like a dragon's been here. He might get the chance to play Dragon Slayer from the hit film Dragon Slayer, which is, I guess, is his other favorite game. Nobody wants to play Predator with him. He's got to play something.
Yeah, he was too busy fucking in the 70s. He hadn't seen that.
So they realize, oh no, this altar here is right on the property line that they have to go on. So that's the real Great Skull Wall, is respect for somebody's property.
Just a woods maniac building stuff.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the wall in Game of Thrones, but made entirely out of skulls. Instead, it's a bundle of sticks and respect for property lines.
And can I just say, by the way, the balls on the screenwriter who had to have watched previous seasons of Mountain Monsters, just writing in these huge sets that would be difficult to build even on a sound stage. And it's just like, you're just writing in, Willie comes across a 400-foot tall Bigfoot made of crystals. Like, what show do you think you're writing for? You just...
But then they also just give that script to them, and out in the woods they say, my God, that there's a 400-pound Bigfoot made of crystals. And then the cameraman pans over to show us a dog, somebody's pet dog.
This is a guy who in his script had Buck comes across a pig that has been mutilated in a way that seems impossible even for a wild beast. And on set, they're just like, we got a pig head and some guts.
They had a sale on guts. We got bulk guts.
We got 3 5-gallon buckets of entrails and a head.
Do you know, it specifically calls out that the heart is still beating here? Do you know how people like pig hearts? They go for a lot of money. I don't know what it is. Hooves, they eat the hooves, so we can't afford that. You're right, the balls on that screenwriter. Like, if I was writing for this show and I wrote down Willie jumps over a small wooden fence, I would be like, oh, shit, I gotta call the director. Do we have access to a small wooden fence? Like, I don't want to promise that.
Hey guys, I gotta check Google Maps. Is the fence within 25 feet of the highway where they're gonna park? Oh man, that's way in there. They're not gonna be able to get to that.
And that's it. That's the episode. We can't go in there because it's somebody's property. It's the property of the Bat Cow, and that's where the wolves live. Time to get the fuck out of here. End of episode. I guess we're gonna pick our favorite quote. It seems like a moot point. We all got the same one, right?
Sure, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anybody, you want to do it at the same time?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I can tell you what mine was. I think you're probably thinking of something different.
Okay, you go, and then me and Sean will go at the same time.
Well, when Bill when Willie's about to go into the log, Bill says, "You got a hell of a set of gonads on you, brother." And then Willie says, "If I holler, you grab my gonads and you jerk my ass out of there." And then Bill says, "You got it, bud."
So you did know. You did know what we were talking about.
Oh, I assumed you were going for something different.
No, I guess if we have to go for our second choice, it would probably be, "This bitch can scream."
Oh, that was Huckleberry trying to get his trailer line when they were stalking the ghost dog.
Huckleberry hears that wolf howl and he goes, "This bitch can scream," and they didn't give him the sizzle reel.
There was an exchange I liked where Buck looks at Willie and he's like, "How adventurous you feeling?" And Willie goes, "I know what you're thinking. I'm down." No, let me finish. Because then Willie adds, whatever the hell's in that hole, I'm bringing it out here. And then Bill butts in and says, "You bring him out, I'll skin his ass." So I don't think he was understanding the situation at all. Yeah,
they both rolled their eyes at him.
Yeah,
he doesn't get it again.
Yeah, and there was one line read that the quote isn't anything special, but when they first come across the log that they're going to base the next 2 episodes on, Buck says, guys, you need to see this. This log is huge. It's such a great thing to say on a hike or on a hunt. Like, guys, I love it.
A lot of big log talk in this episode.
Yeah, I do think that was their worst episode. Looking back on it, I think the least stuff happened. They put all their work into getting that thing built. I don't think the guys built it. If Willie built that thing, I don't like if he genuinely is their resident builder, then it makes his trap work look almost intentionally bad, like he's trying to sabotage the hunt. But no, this was built by an artist. It looks cool. That's it. They had nothing else. That their job was to make an episode around that little bit of set dressing, and they did not.
And dog dicks.
Because you had to be a Bigfoot feature.